Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, food, relationships and mental health. Our weekly co-hosts are Dr. Delvena Thomas, Imani Warren, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hey y'all, happy Hump Wednesday. I cannot believe that next week is Thanksgiving, okay? It's like going by so super fast. Well, I am your host. I'm Nicky Says You Only Live Once, and welcome to MIA Magazine Presents. So this show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery and Duke and Dame Whiskey, and also the FAMU Medical Marijuana Education and Research Institute. Get credible information and engage in a safe space to learn and talk about cannabis. Educate, learn, and talk about cannabis in Florida. And now it's almost time for Basiling. So the Art of Black Miami with the Greater Miami CVB, they're coming back officially the week of December 1st. Okay, so visit MIAmediagrp.com for more information. Again, Art of Black Miami in partnership with the Greater Miami. It's coming back. It kicks off December 1st. Now, will Duke and Dame Whiskey be one of our sponsors? We are doing a giveaway. So we are giving one of our lucky viewers a free caramel salted Duke and Dame Whiskey bottle. So all you have to do is name a Black-owned restaurant within Monroe, Dade, Broward, and the Palm Beaches for your chance to win a bottle. So it's also the Miami Book Fair. It's going down, it's kicking off. And of course, MIA Magazine is a part of the actual event. So we have two guests tonight. Oh, we may have one or two guests tonight. So they're going to be talking about their books. So go ahead and keep it locked. Now, about a week and a half ago, I was able to visit the FIU campus, and there is a hidden gem that I want to educate you all about. It's a little restaurant called Cabana. It's a Caribbean cafe, and it's by Chef Jodan, and it's a Caribbean fusion of different foods: Jamaican food, Haitian food, Bajan food, and it's located at the Graham Center on the FIU campus. So please support Cabana, a Caribbean cafe. Let's go ahead and play the video. Looky what I stumbled upon. Cabana, a Caribbean cafe at FIU's Graham Center. Shout out to Chef Jordan for bringing oxtail and jerk chicken and even vegan options, y'all. I indulged in some rice and peas. I don't eat meat, so I had some chickpeas and potato curry. It was absolutely delicious. There is an option for everybody, and the seasoning, y'all. He went in on the seasoning. Ooh! But y'all saw the pickles though, right? Located at the GC Atrium, FIU's Graham Center. Go ahead and support Chef Jordan. Again, oxtail, jerk chicken, vegan options, vegetarian options. And there goes the refined foodie. Spread the word and support Cabana, a Caribbean cafe at FIU's Graham Center. My tummy was happy. Y'all, again, please support Chef Jordan. I mean, he definitely worked so hard to be a part of the entire food court area at the Graham Center. He's also a recipient of the Startup FIU Local program as well. It's an incubator program that helps small businesses, and he's one of them. So Cabana, a Caribbean cafe, FIU Graham Center. Now on to my first co-host. She is our board-certified psychiatrist and also the founder of the Brain Love podcast. So Dr. Alma, also known as Dr. Delvena, what are we talking about tonight?
Hey guys, it's Dr. Delvena, board certified psychiatrist in South Florida. I have a quick lesson for you, and that lesson is this. When you go and see a mental health professional, please disclose everything. Tell your story. Telling part of your story or a portion and giving symptoms without also detailing the information that's associated with those symptoms could lead to an improper treatment plan. Sometimes people are prescribed medications that they actually don't need because they're not telling the true situation. Did you know that stress and uncomfortable situations can breed nervousness, aka anxiety, sadness, aka depression, as well as sleeping problems like insomnia or the inability to stay asleep? So when you don't tell the extra stuff that's going on in your life, in your social situation, you can get a treatment plan that is not really specific to you. And when that happens, you might be prescribed medications that are not indicated. And when that happens, you don't get better. And so sometimes prescribers will keep giving you medications or trying you on something different because they don't know your truth. They don't know your true story. So I'm encouraging all of you to be upfront. And when you go see a mental health professional, if you don't feel comfortable telling your true story with that person, select someone else. Brain love.
All right, brain love. And also, Dr. Alma, we saw a video last week that you dropped on Instagram. Can we watch that video really quick? That challenge is like trending, like it's been trending for the past, I want to say like 3 weeks. Okay. Really cute video. And now on to my next co-host. She is our arts and culture connoisseur. She knows everything that's happening, all the art galleries. I'm sure she'll be all over Art Basel and Art of Black as well. So Imani Latifa, what are we talking about tonight?
Peace and love, family. And this is a St. Helena moment. Not too long ago, I went to the famous historic Gullah Gullah Island, South Carolina, to visit the historic Penn Center. This month marks the annual event that they do every November commemorating the school and the historical feature of the school. And I stopped by and spoke to one of my older friends, Mr. Middleton. So here is a little bit of what he does and what he has to say. Middleton, tell me why Penn Center is important.
Penn Center is important because this is one of the greatest places for black people. This is where it started education for blacks in 1862 to 1948. Last graduation class of the three. And I'm happy to be a part of it. I leave in 1948. And I said Penn Center, all blacks should at least set foot on Penn at one time or another. Because this is a historical landmark and always will be. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I've been volunteering here now for 18 years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Middleton. I always love you and I appreciate you for everything you do. He's been volunteer now there for maybe about a little over 18 years. And this is the bookstore, but this is in the heart of St. Helena Island, which is right up I-95. Now, this amazing ancestor, she just recently passed away, but this is her body of work. So this is an ode to Miss Diane for her work that was on display at Penn Center not too long ago, a couple of years back. And shout out to Mr. Bree for her work, on the beloved Gullah Gullah Island. Guys, visit these places. This history belongs to you. I'm so humbled to report on it, but it always makes sense if you go by and visit. Art Basel is coming up. I hope you are ready. I hope you got your tickets. We'll be discussing that on next week's report. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings.
Blessings, and we'll see you next week. And now on to my next co-host. He is a celebrity chef. He's an NFL and NBA chef. He's also a guest chef on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. So Chef Irie, hello, hello, hello.
Well, hello, darling. What's going on?
I'm here. I'm here.
You're there. I'm here. We're here. Ha yes. Yeah, it's almost that time of year again. Oh my God, can you believe it? Not even. You know what? My observation yesterday, as I was walking in the store, and I was like, wait a minute. It seems as if Thanksgiving is just a blurb these days. Halloween was woo, and Christmas decorations have been up about a month ago. And it's just a little bit of stuff for Thanksgiving. And like, wait, I don't even see anything in the stores for Thanksgiving. But that's what it is, and that's where we are. I assume that because it's not such a big it's not as commercial as Christmas, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe people just don't want to be around family these days. I guess I don't know. But it is that time of year. Thanksgiving is upon us, people. And so in the news, we are being told that there might be a turkey shortage this year. So what does that mean? I don't know. For those of you who love turkey, maybe you need to buy your turkey early, right? Um, and yeah, maybe you need to buy your turkey early. Well, for those of you who are very bold, maybe you might want to substitute something for the turkey. Now, what would that be? So, lots of choices. Well, for me as an immigrant, that could be anything. And being from Jamaica, seeing as we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Jamaica, and we have, I guess once you're an immigrant, in this country, you're embracing and adopting, a holiday that's different from yours. So it's great. We have the best, I think, of all possibilities. We have our own culture, the food from our own culture, and then you can just mix and mash everything together at Thanksgiving. So can you imagine American Thanksgiving with a Caribbean Thanksgiving? I'm just saying, we're not talking about a one dish here. We're talking about the whole spread. Curry goat, oxtail, nice cured roasted ham with the pineapple and the cloves, a little orange sauce over it, some callaloo, yes, some gunga peas, rice and peas, oh yes, that potato salad with the egg and the green beans. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that roast beef, that is stuffed with all kind of seasoning and garlic. Yeah, and then you have like some candied yams and some mac and cheese, maybe some callaloo souffle. You know, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Coming to
you
your
don't want,
house for dinner next week.
I'm just saying, you don't want to eat turkey? Guess what? And you want to stay protein? You can have you a goose. You can have you a duck. Oh, yes, you can. You can have you some lamb, a rack of lamb, a leg of lamb. Yes, you can. Now, if you don't want to do the animal protein, guess what? We're not just gonna stuff you with tofu. No, you can have you some stuffed portobellos. Yes, some pureed what's it? Porcinis. Yes, you can have porcini souffle. I'm just saying, the list. You can have you a stuffed portobello eggplant topped with. Hey, the list goes on and on. It's vegan. You can have you some interesting vegan options, and the good thing about plant based, especially if you're just really cool and up to what's happening in food. Plant based doesn't necessarily mean processed. All right. And there are a lot of us, I think, who are misconstrued in this whole process thing as healthier. In my opinion, once it's processed, something has changed. So there are lots of vegan options that we can do for Thanksgiving this year, to be sort of inclusive of and mindful of people coming to dinner. And it was interesting when I started off earlier saying, Thanksgiving is but a blurb, and Facebook friend of mine, he was saying that it probably seems that way, and it seems micro because maybe a lot of people either don't have families or have family issues, and then he alluded to um, food insensitivities, you know. And so whether that's, Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I think as we're preparing foods and, if you're inviting people, one of the things, please, 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 you know, if you're inviting people to your house for dinner, make sure that you are aware whether or not they have food, sensitivities, food allergies, right? It sucks for someone to come to your home and you didn't bother to find out, you know, you were inviting them and you didn't bother to find out if they were allergic to anything or there's just some things that they don't eat or what have you. Some people is like, oh, I don't care, but I think if people are going to come, you want to make sure that they're welcome. So before I go, that's all the food, that we can, indulge in. But if you're going to be cooking dinner this Thanksgiving, please, 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 please start early. Every year we say this. Start your prep by starting your list. Before you even cut anything, make that menu.
Preparation.
When you make the menu, then you make your shopping list. All right. And when you make your shopping list, then you figure out, well, then you're going to go shopping, right? And start early, right? And once you start prepping early. Prep the dishes that can probably be prepped and then cooked the day off. And if there are dishes that could be cooked all the way through and just reheated, that's always good as well. And the number one, making sure that everybody sits at the table at the same time. All them lazy people that you got in your house that come over and doing a damn thing while you sitting around there sweating and slaving. Get them in the kitchen to wash them dishes. Dang it, to wash up some pots before. So when it comes to dinner time, you, the slave cook, can go upstairs, get a nice quick hot shower, put on something comfortable, put on a little makeup if you're the doll. If you're the guy, well, a little deodorant and some aftershave. Yes, nice.
Smell nice.
I think that everybody, when you are sitting down for dinner, everybody needs to be at the table to enjoy what I've come to see Thanksgiving to be. So, when it gets to that time. By the way, I'm in the mood already. So this is a sorrel bourbon cocktail.
Ooh.
So yeah, so this is the sorrel drink. Grace's sorrel ginger drink, and I just added some bourbon to this.
Very exotic. All right.
Yeah. So can you imagine now when I make sorrel this Christmas? Bourbon and whatever else in there. Yeah.
That's gonna be nice. I'm gonna try that. That's very exciting.
So I'll save you a bottle this year, Nicky. I'll save you a bottle.
All right, okay. I'll come pick it up next week, Thursday.
No. We're talking Christmas, not Thanksgiving. Christmas.
Oh, it can't be for both? Okay. All right.
No. Can I just one holiday at a time, please?
Yes, I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. You're talking Christmas. All right.
I'm starting to get in the mood. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta start early, just like these companies out there. They start early.
They sure do.
They want to get your money.
Well, Chef, thank you so much. Cheers.
Salud, darling.
We'll see you on Thursday for Flavors of South Florida. Hey. Have a good night. And y'all, the Miami Book Fair is finally here. And tonight I'll be speaking to two participating authors. So our first author is D. Watkins. He is a New York Times best-selling author and HBO writer for We Own This City. He's also an award-winning professor at the University of Baltimore and founder of the Be More Writers Project. He's now the author of Black Boy Smile, a memoir in moments. So hello, D. Watkins. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up? It's great seeing you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, most definitely. And our second guest tonight, he is Chef Keith Corbin. He's also the James Beard Award nominated chef and co-owner of Alta Adams in Los Angeles, and also the author of California Soul, an American epic of cooking and survival. So Chef Keith, welcome to MIA Soul. How's it going tonight?
Thank you. Going pretty good. I was actually in the kitchen. I ain't gonna even lie.
Are you in the
kitchen? Listen here. I'm in the kitchen cooking, doing what I do, and my Google Calendar went off with an alert. I'm like, snap. And then I got the phone call as a reminder. And so right now I'm sitting over here in our wine shop at Alta Adams Wine Shop and, making it happen.
Did you turn the stove off at least before you entered the show?
I absolutely took everything off the stove, but I still might say, excuse me, and run and check the kitchen. You know how it goes.
That's fine. Well, welcome, and let's get right into it. So, D. Watkins, tell us a bit about your background.
I was born and raised in East Baltimore, and the reading has changed my life. I came up as a street guy, and who never had dreams of being a best-selling author or a college professor or a television executive, but here we are. And I talk about a lot of that stuff in some of my earlier books. My newest book, Black Boy Smile, that I'll be presenting at the book fair, deals with toxic masculinity. Some of the traits I grew up with, how to deprogram and then be reprogrammed to a person that can enjoy life, enjoy family, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and just have balance. What that looks like for me, and with the hopes that it can inspire someone else to think about their own upbringing and their own things that influence them in negative and positive ways, and how to just always self-audit and make sure you're being the best person you can be without, going to the military and all that stuff.
So as far as your book, was that like a reflection based on when you were a little boy, or what inspired this book?
I had a whole lot of poor relationships before me and my wife got together. Had a lot of bad relationships. Not bad to the sense of where I wasn't the kind of guy that would pick up things and throw stuff, but I was the kind of guy where if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we got in an argument, I would just leave. I was just I would just go, instead of me dealing with the problem, I would just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to New Orleans for 2 months and eat. You know what I mean? I would be that kind of person. And I thought about the root of some of those relationships and some of the things so I start with some of the things my dad been through, how he didn't know his dad. So whatever he knew about being a father was just trial and error, and how those things got passed down to me, and then the kind of father I wanted to be. I have a 2-year-old now, but when I was writing the book, my daughter wasn't born yet. So what I wanted to be, what I wanted to accomplish, what I wanted to try to get right. So we document them 3 different eras.
Wow. Yeah. Self-reflection as we get older. So Chef Corbin, tell us a bit about your background.
I mean, jeez, he just introduced me when he introduced himself.
we brothers already.
I'm just saying, and we all deal with the same things. I grew up in Watson, the Jordan projects, participated in gang culture, lived most of my life making a living off cooking drugs. And that was my profession. I flew around the country cooking drugs for different projects, people in different projects. Spent 10 years in prison. Had a conversation with my daughter after I came home when she had come across some of the stories about my lifestyle. And, she asked me, was I a gangster? And, I had to look her in her face and lie to her. And in that moment, I realized that I really wasn't proud of the lifestyle I was living. So I sought to change my legacy and change the narrative and the conversations that people were having around me, with me, and about me in my absence. And so I got my first job at 34, 35 years old.
Wow.
And from there, and I didn't even treasure that opportunity because there was no representation at the end of the road or on the mountain for me to look towards and say, hey, man, if I start here, I can get to that. I didn't know that taking a $14 an hour job, and 4 years later, I would be an author. I would own my own restaurant. I would take my story from the book and make a deal with Paramount to make a TV show that I would be able to move my family out of the projects and build a house in Brentwood, Bel Air area. And that I would be in a position to offer an opportunity to the same people that was in similar situations as me and start changing lives. Like I never could imagine that. There was no one that I could look to be that representation for me to stay the course. So now that I'm that representation, that's my motivation, right? So people can look to me and be like, damn, he started here. I know his story, and he was able to accomplish the level of success, and maybe I could do the same, And
yeah,
that's what it's about for me.
I can't wait to see that show.
Me too. No, series. It gotta be like a series, probably by 10 seasons.
With sister, we definitely working on a series, and we're definitely trying to stretch it out to 10 seasons exactly. But for me, it's like I'm telling my co-writer in the production, the studio, for me, it's not even about the money or, the many seasons or the many episodes. It's about the message, right? I want a certain message in the dialogue. Yeah, I did gang culture and drug culture, but I don't want that glorified. There's a message in our struggle, and I want the show to give a message, and I wanted to talk to people and talk to a certain demographic, a certain community of people, right, to uplift and motivate and inspire. And if it takes one season or 6 episodes to get it right, then I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that if we accomplish the goal.
Of course, yeah, definitely. Even if you touch just 1 or 2 people, that's an accomplishment right there, in itself. So, yeah. So you both have your experiences. There's something that happened in your life that brought us now to these books that you wrote. So now the Miami Book Fair, it's here. How are you participating in this year's Miami Book Fair? And D. Watkins, you can go first.
I'm giving a talk. I've been on the road for like 2 weeks, so I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, I know it's on Saturday. I don't know what stage I'll be at and what time my talk will be, but I know I'm excited about reading from the book and answering some of those tough questions and just getting into some things people not comfortable talking about. I'm sitting here laughing at Chef Keith because people don't know when you cook, you got to really know how to cook. Like, the first time I ever tried to cook up my life, I think I threw away like 2 grams of residue, and the dude ran to the trash can like, no! He's like,
oh! That's a waste.
He's like, no. So, it's a skill. It's a skill. So
it's absolutely a skill.
It's a skill. So I know it's a beautiful story, but yeah, similar lifestyle, East Baltimore. I definitely seen some things, and I'm really, really happy to talk about some of the lies we're told as young people. Sometimes when we get in those street stories from our fathers and our grandfathers and big homies and all that, they talk about the heaven, but they don't really talk about the hell of those situations. It's cool to make a couple dollars, but everybody's not going to be Jay-Z. Or it's cool, to whatever, buy a little car, but at the same time, some of your closest family and friends are going to fall victim to what's actually happening. So we got to do better at telling the whole story and being honest. And I'm just always looking forward to having those honest conversations.
Yeah, and thanks for making yourself vulnerable. Like, a lot of people, they're afraid to talk about the bad parts in their lives, because they're ashamed or they're embarrassed or they don't want to be judged. But you were able to be transparent and open and vulnerable to change other people's lives. So you actually shared that part. So thank you for that.
Well, for me, I think that if you're not trying to be honest, and it comes down to what you're speaking for, right? Like, what are you talking for? If you're speaking to touch someone, to motivate, to inspire, right, then you have to be honest. I always think about, like, when I was the dude on the block, right? For one, the 40-year-old guy standing next to me when I was 19, I wasn't trying to hear nothing he had to say. It's like, you still right here where I'm at, bro. Like, what I'm trying to hear. And then also, for those people that didn't go through what I went through or, dealing with the things that I was dealing with in life, I didn't want to hear what they had to say anyway. It was one of those things where you tell, man, you don't know what I'm going through. So with me in the book and when I speak, I have to be brutally honest, right? Tell all the nuances. That way I can connect to who I'm talking to. Before I can give you advice, you have to know that I know what you're dealing with, right? Before I can tell you my path that I took to get out of that situation, you have to know that I was first in that situation. So I got to tell you, yeah, I cook drugs, I gangbang, I put in work, I use drugs. I was also the self-sabotaging guy where I get into an argument in any relationship, spouse, friend, business, whatever. I would walk away before you walk away on me. And not to even say that the person was thinking to walk away. I just didn't know how to deal. For one, I lost my brother at 14, so I operated the rest of my life as a 14-year-old kid, even at 23, 24. So I didn't know how to communicate, right? So when you try to challenge me or question me or any of that, I took it as a conflict, right? And I always just walked away. I abandoned relationships, and that set me back a lot. And I still battle that. So I can't wait to read Watkins.
That's real, bro.
To help me get some understanding of why I still do these things, even with the success that I have. Like, I have business partners where it's like, bro, I won't even answer their call. Like, I won't even communicate, and it cuts the business down because, like, I need to learn how to communicate. I need to learn how to express boundaries, all these things. I'm still dealing with a lot of that.
I lost my brother at 17, so I lost my brother at 17, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think the one thing that I would say is that it's okay to be a work in progress. It's okay to not have it figured out. Like, people like, how did you get past this death? How did you get past this setback or whatever? And it's like, yo, like sometimes we'll be processing these things at different moments, different triggers and different things to set different feelings off for the rest of our lives. And it's okay to take the long road to process it and not try to act like we Teflon and we just, never want to cry or just never want to be alone or don't feel like talk. Sometimes you don't want to talk, and it's nothing wrong with that. And I think we try to talk about that too.
I think a lot of times the misconception for me, and I think for many people, I believe, is that when you rise above your impoverished situation, when you get an opportunity or you get a level of success or even a job, coming home from prison and getting a job, trying to go straight, right? We believe that it's this magic door that we walk through, that once we get our life going, that we walk through this magic door and everything prior to that moment goes away, and it don't go away. All that stuff follow you right through the door, right? Like, so if you were battling drug addiction and you get a job or you get a career or you get an opportunity, that drug addiction comes straight through the door.
Yeah.
Right? All your folks and friends that you grew up with, right? When you leave the block and do something different with your life, when they get killed or something happen, it still affects you. All that stuff comes through the door, and we have to continue to process it and deal with it.
Exactly. And like, it's communication.
Yeah.
Self-reflection and communication. Yeah. How can we find you and your books?
I believe my book is on all platforms. Every book, like, I don't know about Miami, but I know in LA it's in every bookstore. It's also on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Okay, so Amazon, gotcha. The usual platforms. Okay. And D. Watkins, how about you? How can we find your book?
Everywhere books are sold. We Own the City and The Slow Hustle are both streaming on HBO right now. HBO Max right now.
Oh wait, what do you mean it's streaming on HBO Max? Like what do you mean?
The two show the television show I created and the documentary I produced.
Okay, gotcha.
Wait, what's it called?
HBO.
What's the show called?
We Own This City.
Okay. I might not even go back to the kitchen. I might just sit here and watch that.
Yeah, it's about cricket
give
cops.
Me a way out.
Yeah, it's about cricket cops. Who was
I seen that.
Yeah. That's my joint.
Already.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
With the mayor and all that.
Yeah, well, John Bernthal playing it, the boy who played the Punisher. Yeah.
I'm actually on the city, man. Yeah, we didn't talk about it in my restaurant.
Look at that. Yes. Connections.
Yeah,
so are y'all flying down for the book fair? I know you're in LA and you're in Baltimore, right?
I'll be there on Friday. I'll be there from Friday to Monday.
Okay. I'm gonna try to pull up. Definitely try to pull
up. Please do. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet both of y'all. I'm about to order your book right now, Chef.
Yes.
I'm on it right now.
So you know what? We're gonna get into some MIA talk. Really cute questions. That's it. Cute little questions. So first question is, what show are you currently binging? And Chef Keith, you can go first.
My-
He just backed out. Oh,
you know what? Because there's been so much travel, I've been like out of the restaurant and then in the restaurant. I haven't really had a chance to binge. But what I have been anticipating that just came back is Yellowstone. I love Yellowstone.
Oh, I heard about Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on
I
Paramount,
love
right?
Yellowstone.
Paramount?
So that just
Paramount?
came back. And then I just finished Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
It's with the sister that's playing a lawyer. I just finished that season. Yeah.
Okay. And D. Watkins, what are you currently binging?
Right now I'm just like I haven't been watching any TV, but I want to watch TV. But I'm working on a show in the Bronx right now about foster care, so I've just been reading like 8 hours a day, just through old court cases, learning the system, just trying to figure out the way we want to approach this project. So the writers' room starts next week. No, the writers' room starts the second week of December. So I've been in on it, but I really want to I want to check out White Lotus. And I do want to see Reason. I've been hearing good stuff about Reasonable Doubt, but so I want to see that. But I like White Lotus last year, so I want to see the new one.
Okay, I have to check it out. White Lotus. Okay, that sounds interesting. So
Hey,
what is
Watkins, I'm gonna put my number in the chat for you.
All right, bet I'm gonna put mine in.
Okay. So what's your favorite?
I don't see yours though.
I'm putting it right now.
Oh, all right.
In the private chat, right? Yeah, the private chat. Okay, it's popping up. Okay. So what is your favorite place to visit?
I just came back from Greece. I ate like crazy. I had a real good time. I wish we was there for like a week and a half. I wish I could have stayed a month, but my favorite place in the world is Ghana.
Oh, Ghana.
Because the food, the people, it's by the water. You know, mostly the bulk of black people in this country came here via Ghana through the slave, through the Elmina and the Portuguese slave trading port. So it's like our ancestors literally came through that port before we got to this country. So you kind of feel like it's a spiritual feeling when you're over there.
Yeah. What landmarks did you visit? Any landmarks you visited?
In Greece?
In Ghana.
In Ghana, Elmina. I went to the port. I went to the Portuguese port. And just, saw the chains and just saw like how the whole operation went. And it was just like it was heavy.
Yeah. My brother visited Ghana too, and he took pictures. He does a lot of documentaries, and he took pictures, and it was very, very heavy. Very heavy, yeah. And you, Chef Keith, what's your favorite place to visit?
I mean, I just came home from prison in 2014, so it ain't really much traveling for me out of the country. I am working on my passport. I think for me, this book tour has allowed me to see cities in a new light that I've traveled to during my drug trade, right? So hitting the Atlantas and the Des Moines and hitting these certain cities where I only seen the darker side of it through the hustle. And I'm seeing them now and I'm enjoying them, right? The New Orleans and Atlantas and places like that. And I think that's been like, for me, been cool. Like I've been hitting a lot of cities that I used to hit in my younger days. And I see the city different now.
Yeah, and you know what? And even with like domestic traveling, there's so much culture in every state. Yeah. There's so much culture. We can travel right within our backyards and discover like new places and different experiences.
Yeah.
So
I spent 20-something years in the projects, and that is like an island.
It's a box.
It's an island, bro. It's like Gilligan's Island. Like, I'm just now starting to see Los Angeles.
Yeah. There's so much to explore. Yeah. So, ebook or paperback?
Paperback.
I mean, I'm used to turning the pages again. I read a lot while I was in prison, so it's a paperback thing for me.
Paperback. Okay. Sweet or savory?
Well, we can't have both.
Both of them. I'm a chef. Both of them.
Okay. All right. So, What would you tell your younger selves, and how old would you be?
So I get asked that question a lot, and I think about this when I go talk to the youth, and it's kind of hard to what I would tell my younger self. I think what I would tell myself is to explore every opportunity, right? Any opportunity that you can get outside of the community, take that opportunity and broaden your mind, right? Because it's hard to imagine. I know for me, there was no doctors, lawyers, none of that in my community, just gangsters and drug dealers. So it's kind of hard to dream of something you don't even know exists, right? So getting outside of the community, getting out just outside and seeing what else is out there allows you to dream, you know? Like I couldn't see past the hustle because that was the only thing in front of me. So I would tell myself, man, them school field trips, don't ditch, go. Go. Somebody ride, like you catch somebody leaving, jump in the car, take a ride, see what's out there. You know, it gives you more to dream about. Like, because other than that, you're boxing yourself in.
Expand your mind. Yes.
Expand your mind.
And D. Watkins, what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
8 years old, 9 years old, I would say, young boy, you don't know nothing. And then I would find me again at 16 and say, you know even less. And then I would find myself again at 20 and say, you think you got it figured out, but you don't know anything. Be intellectually curious, understand that every person you're talking to is a book. They have lessons and stories and things that you can take away from their journey. And then read. I didn't read when I was coming up, and I paid the price for it in any and every way imaginable. For not reading punished me. So I would tell my young self to read, listen to people, and get that chip off your shoulder and stop thinking that you know all of these things when you really don't.
Wow. So much reflection as we get older, huh?
Absolutely. Now I know I'll be learning for the rest of my life, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yes. All of us. So we'll see you this weekend. Definitely. Congratulations on your latest project, your books, and thanks for the messaging. Thanks for sharing your journey and your story and wanting to change lives. Your story will definitely help others hopefully bloom and have their own self-reflections and to grow and learn. So thank you for that. Hopefully dinner is good tonight, Chef Keith.
Oh, every time.
Every time.
I'm sure be blessing. You know what I'm saying? So happy Thanksgiving. Any plans? Any Thanksgiving plans next week?
Yeah. I wish I was still gonna be in Miami, but I'm gonna cook at home. Like we have a brand new house. They're finishing up.
On that.
So thank you. So to be able to break it in, like I haven't even cooked in it. The first cook in that house will be Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's brand new. It's like new. Okay.
Man, they still got the construction cleaning crew got to come out. Like that's how brand new it is.
Oh,
that's
okay.
amazing.
So, yeah, they putting the tile in the kitchen, so they finishing up. My wife just told me now she's ordering tables and all that to set up, and so the first cook in the house will be Thanksgiving. That's a blessing because it gives us something to really sit around the table around and say thank you for it. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Yeah, and what about you, D. Watkins? Any plans?
Yeah, so there's this kitchen in Baltimore, black chef, solid brothers restaurant's called Black Sauce. So we're gonna have him cater it, and then whoever want to pull up to the crib can pull up. Not really like planning no function, not planning to have like a dinner time and all that. If you I got a big ass family, and everybody do their own thing. So on my fault, I ain't know if I can say ass or not on here, but
it's okay. It's fine.
Yo, I got a big family. Everybody got families. They doing their thing. So, me, my wife, and my daughter, we got our stuff set up, and then we got enough to feed like 20 people. So you pull up, you get a plate or whatever. This dude is like, he legit, man. He smoked shrimp and smoked salmon and all kinds of like smoked peach cobbler and shit. Like he do stuff with the smoke. I don't even know if you're supposed to do it. Like all of it smack, all of it hitting. If they were open every day, this is how they jam. They only open up on Thursdays and Saturdays. The rest of the week they close. I said, man, if you open every day and I'm home, I'm gonna be 765 pounds, man. That's why I'm happy that he only got it a couple. I can't get it every day.
Right. It's that good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much. And yeah, we'll see you at the book fair. Have a good night.
I got your number too, Chef. I'm gonna lock in.
I got you. I'm gonna
Nice
touch in
meeting
with
Nicky.
you.
All right.
You too. All right, Nikki.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
And y'all, don't forget that Duke and Dame Whiskey is one of our sponsors, and we're giving one of you all your own Duke and Dame Whiskey bottle. All you got to do is name a Black-owned restaurant within Dade, Broward, and the Palm Beaches for your chance to win. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.